Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nerltep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiet, Justin Kimmett, Shirley Niedzwiecki, George Chipples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with me, Matt Quiet, running the table as the Keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody, welcome to our first session. This is one of our creation podcasts. Today I'm sitting with Shirley. Say hi, Shirley.
Hey everybody.
You know Shirley from our other podcast. She's the token girl that knows a lot of stuff about nerdy crap. Today we're going to go through creation. Shirley has a good concept, and that's kind of where I like to start with Cthulhu. A concept instead of a character sheet really works best in a role-playing environment, and Cthulhu is very role-playing heavy. So Shirley, let's hear a little bit about your concept.
My concept is like a gunslinger girl, kind of like Calamity Jane or Annie Oakley. Since we are around that time, I decided to choose a character like Calamity Jane, but after I started researching, I moved more toward Annie Oakley because around the time that we are, Annie Oakley's alive and Calamity Jane is already dead. So that's my concept. A little bit about the concept is she grew up a little bit of a tomboy because she had to due to her family circumstances, and then during those circumstances she found out about Calamity Jane and the Wild West shows and Annie Oakley. Then they became her role models, and she decided to follow that line of profession as she grew up, much to her family's chagrin. And then it brings her to a Wild West show somehow. We're going to tie that in. And then to New York to do vaudeville. So
amateur investigator?
Oh, and because of her family's circumstances, she had to learn to read and write. So when she started reading, she found Sherlock Holmes at one time. But there was all those small, like, one-pagelet or small booklets that they always got at the general store. So she was reading those as well. So
you're kind of you like the idea of being an amateur investigator. Your character likes that idea?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to walk through character creation. 6 or so steps. It's really like 5.5 or 7. Really depends on how you look on it. We're using some optional rules. We'll go over as we go through this. But first, Shirley, let's go ahead and determine your characteristics. So, you have strength, constitution, power, dexterity, and appearance. For these, you're going to roll 3d6.
Okay.
All together. And then we're going to add those up. So that looks like 12.
Yeah. So 12.
Mm-hmm. Do it 4 more times.
Oh, roll them 4 more times?
You're going to roll it 5 once for each. That looks like an 11. That looks like a 10. You just keep going down the line, right?
My twos. That'll be funny.
That looks like a 6. A 9. And there's your 5 stats.
Okay.
So later, we're going to let you move some stats around, some points from one to another, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But let's look at these 5 stats and put them into your strength, your constitution, your power, your dexterity, and your appearance. And if you have any questions about these...
So what is the difference between power and strength?
Strength is your physical strength.
Mm-hmm.
Power is your mental force of will.
Force of will. Okay, so it's like will.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Yeah. Well, dexterity, I definitely need that because I'm a gunslinger.
Well, and it's important to note, yes, that's normally the case, but in Call of Cthulhu, all of that stuff goes directly off of percentages. So you could have a high percentage in pistols and have absolutely no dexterity whatsoever.
That seems a little odd.
Yes, it does. but that's what it allows. Now, you as a responsible player will probably put a good number in your dexterity, and that might even be your primary thing. But that's a possibility. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
So, being that this is a Cthulhu module or game, why does it matter where my stats go?
Some of these are based directly off of other stats. So, looking at your top of your character sheet, you have strength, dexterity, intelligence, idea, constitution, appearance, power, luck, size, sanity, education, and knowledge. Idea is based directly off of your intelligence. Okay. Luck is based directly off of your power.
Okay.
Knowledge is based directly off your education. And sanity is based directly off of your power. Hold on. Yes, power. So your power is kind of...
and sanity are both off my power?
Yep. Then you also get damage bonuses if your strength and size equal a certain number.
Okay.
Your hit points are based off your constitution and size.
Okay.
Dexterity doesn't and appearance don't have anything specific. However, I could apply those as negatives. If you're shooting a guy with no distractions whatsoever, it may just be your dexterity, or it may just be your weapon skill.
Right.
Or I may give you a negative to that weapon skill and then say, but you can add your dexterity in. So let's say you had a 50 in your pistol, which would be kind of poor for what your character concept is.
Right.
And I say, well, you're in the back of a bouncy car. I'm going to give you a negative 20. But go ahead and add your dexterity in. So you would take that 12. Let's just assume you put the 12 there. You'd add that 12 in, so you'd only be at a negative 8. So you'd have to roll 42 or below.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, on a percentage die.
Yes.
Correct.
So that's the kind of stuff. There's other things. If you're trying to do stuff that you're opposing another character, and it's not specifically skill-based. So with dexterity... I'll give you one with strength, because dexterity is a little more difficult. If you're trying to push a door open and the other character is trying to hold the door shut, you would actually make a resistance check on that. It would be your strength in one column, their strength in another column, and then there would be a number. So the higher your strength is, the better off you are. The higher their strength is, the better off they are.
Right.
And conversely, the worse off you are. So if you have an 18 strength and they have an 11 strength, you're better off doesn't mean you're going to succeed. It just means you're better off.
Right.
So that's kind of what.
So we would still roll on it.
You would still.
And whoever would win.
You would probably roll because you would be initiating the force.
Right.
And as the aggressor, it kind of goes to you to succeed.
Okay.
The defender doesn't really have to do anything other than hold the door shut. Okay. So that's the kind of stuff you use that for. I'm sure there will be a time when dexterity may actually apply in that same resistance kind of way.
Okay.
I don't know when that would be. But if you were trying to pull somebody up, you would actually take your strength and then their size, because size is their size, and you would figure that out on the same table to see if you could pull them up. Because that's not a skill. Pulling people up off of the side of a building is not a skill whatsoever. It's, are you strong enough? Are they super heavy? If those both apply,
right.
You figure out the degrees.
Okay. So being where she's from and how she grew up, her knowledge is going to kind of be average.
Well, knowledge,
or her education is going to be average.
Isn't off these. These 5 are strength, constitution, power, dexterity, and appearance.
Okay.
So strength,
dexterity, constitution,
appearance, and
power.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then constitution has to do with how the strength of my will, how I'm going to stick to my idea.
It's your physical. That's power. Constitution is your physical health. Are you a sickly person? Are you a healthy person? If I punch you, do you bleed? I mean, do you bleed a lot? Do you bleed a little bit? That's the kind of stuff that comes out of Constitution.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put most of my points into Dex.
So you want to put that 12 into Dex.
Okay. And then Strength next.
Okay, so you want the 11?
That'll be my 11.
Okay.
And then she's kind of pretty, so I'll put the third one into Appearance.
So okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And then we have Constitution and Power.
Okay. And a low Constitution doesn't necessarily make you sickly. It just makes you more susceptible.
Right.
So
So, and power is the power of the mind.
Yes, it's your force of will.
Force of will. I'm going to go ahead and put the 10. I'm going to erase that and put the 10 in power.
Okay.
That'll be my force of will. And then, because to get where she is as a woman in this day and age, she would pretty much have to be like strong-willed.
That's a valid.
And then,
well, and here's the thing: appearance is how pretty you are,
right?
But you also need to realize that it's how other people, how you appear to others.
Right.
Appearance shows, according to the book, appearance shows attractiveness and friendliness. Some multiple of appearance might be used in social encounters or when trying to make initial impressions on a member of the opposite sex, perhaps in conjunction with a fast talk or bargain. Appearance is a surface characteristic. However, initial impressions are not necessarily lasting. Appearance measures what one sees in the mirror, not ongoing personal leadership or charisma. An investigator without appearance is appallingly ugly, provoking comment and shock everywhere. So we talked about your character being intimidating without realizing it. You're also a tomboy, so you don't look like what you would consider a normal girl. Doesn't mean you're ugly, just means that you don't dress pretty.
So I kind of looked at this again. I think what I would like to do is take the 10 and move it into appearance. The 11, move it to power. Okay. Take the 9, put it in strength.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or the 9, put it in constitution, and the 6 in strength.
Whatever you want to do with your points is fine. So the only thing you're leaving is your dex. Right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I said
11 in power, right?
No, 11 in appearance, 10 in power. And then we have the 6 and the 9, and I said I didn't want to be too sickly, so put the 9 in the constitution and 6 in strength.
Okay. So, next thing we do is you're going to roll 2d6 twice. Okay. 2d6 and add 6 twice. So that is, I'm not sure what that is.
9 plus 6 is 15.
Okay, write that down. And there's a 10 plus 6 is 16. Now these would go into size and intelligence. Let's go ahead and put those. I understand that you're 16 and 15 on size, that's pretty big. You're a pretty big girl.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, though. We'll get to that. Okay. So I would suggest that you put the 16 in intelligence and the 15 in size. Okay. The reason is, I told you later we're going to move some numbers around.
Right.
You'll be able to take 3 points from any one thing and move it to another thing.
Okay.
And you'll be able to do that 3 times. So you'll be able to take that 15 and reduce it to a 12.
Okay.
And then maybe up your dex to a 15. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing you're going to do, sort of, in this sort of part, is roll 3d6 and add 3. This is for your education.
And that is...
I see it.
Oh, a 1.
Yeah.
1, so 3 and 3 is 6, and add what? 6?
3.
3?
Yes. It's a 9.
So 9.
Okay. That's your education. Okay. So, normally we would figure out what your sanity is right now. We're going to skip that part because we want to go look at occupations. You have no classes in this system. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons where you have a class and a race. Okay. You're human. End of discussion. And you don't have a class. You have an occupation that kind of dictates your skills and maybe a few other things. But that's it. That's all it does.
Okay.
It doesn't dictate how you are because you can have interests outside of skills. Right. You personally are an office administrator. That doesn't mean that you don't like going and shooting guns.
Right.
So technically, determining occupation is like step 4, but we're going to skip that. We have a book besides the basic 6th edition Call of Cthulhu book, which is what we're using for everything. We're using another book called the 1920s Companion Guide. One of the reasons is it's really set for what we're doing. We're playing in the 1920s. It's built for that.
Okay.
The other thing, it has a couple of things, specifically a larger range of weaponry that fits the 1920s.
Okay.
It tells you when it came out, what kind of caliber is possible with it, what it all means. The other thing it has is occupations and bonuses for those occupations. So let's look at that book.
Okay.
we have different categories. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find the beginning. Okay, there's the creation stuff.
Okay.
Which it has different things in here, but
I can be Charles Lindbergh.
no, that's an example. So we'll start in Adventures and Daredevils because that's sort of where you might be, but we can look at other stuff. So Aviator, not really you. No. That's Creation Guide. Big Game Hunter, not quite you. Charter Boat Captain, no. Deep Sea Diver, no. Explorer, not quite, not yet. Mountain Climber, Prospector, Race Car Driver, Treasure Hunter, that ends those. That's okay, though. Arts Creative is the next category. That's not you.
No.
Arts Performance could be you.
Yep.
So, the first one is Entertainer. The skills are Disguise, English, Fast Talk, Persuade, Psychology. Does that fit you?
Not really.
Okay, then let's move on.
Okay.
Film crew? No. Film star?
No.
Jazz musician?
No.
Legitimate musician?
No.
Stage actor? That could possibly apply. So let's look. Skills, art, disguise, English, fast talk, persuade, psychology. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? I don't think that's going to fit either. No. Stagehand doesn't really fit. Stuntman.
Okay.
That could be possible. So, wow, that's a lot of skills. Climb, disguise, drive, dodge, electrical repair, first aid, fist punch, grapple, headbutt, jump, kick, mechanical repair, pilot aircraft, pilot boat, ride, swim, and throw.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
It also has special benefits. There's some other stuff in here, earnings and contracts and connections. We'll get to that. Contacts and connections, we've already worked out your backstory, so we don't really need to follow that.
Right.
That's really a suggestion for what kind of contacts and connections you would have.
Okay.
The earnings, there's a deeper earnings set in the 1920s companion book. We're going to just ignore that, roll towards the end to see how much money you have, and then base it off of that.
And then,
frankly,
why would I need money in this game?
Do you want to go anywhere? Do you want to buy food? Do you want to get on a boat and maybe travel the world later? Because you're going to have to. Okay. How are you going to pay for that?
Okay.
You're a vaudeville actor. They don't make a lot. They're not poor. Well, in 1925, they could be poor. It's kind of the downturn of vaudeville. But it's you have the potential to make money.
Right.
It's a matter of how much you have, how much you've made off to the side, how much you have on hand, what other stuff you own besides just the cash in your hand.
Okay.
So, Stuntman looks like it's a good possibility. It has a special that says +1 to Constitution and to Dexterity. Subtract 1d3 points of damage from 1d3. Subtract 1d3 points from any damage caused by an accidental fall.
Okay.
You're dexterous. You're nimble like a cat. Drive and piloting skills allow the stuntman to perform stunts or safely crash these types of vehicles.
That's awesome.
That doesn't really apply to you, that last part.
Right.
But the taking a fall thing does. If you are in vaudeville, you know how to take a fall. That's part of the comedy routine at the time.
In the Wild West shows, you
would have learned how to fall off a horse just because you have to know how to fall off a horse effectively. So that's a good one. Let's look at a couple more just in case. To round out the performing arts is talent agent. We'll skip that.
Yeah. So stuntman is definitely a possibility.
It's a good possibility. Athletics is the next category.
Right.
Acrobat, that could be you. Bargain, climb, dodge, jump, other language, throw, plus possible employment skills.
What does that mean?
Well, it depends. How are you employed? You're employed to shoot guns and throw knives, right?
Basically, yeah.
Well, those are employment skills.
Okay.
So, that's a possibility as well. Let's look at the special. +1 to strength and to dex, or +2 to dex.
Okay.
That's a possibility. It doesn't fit, I don't think, as well as Stuntman.
Right.
But it's not out of the question. You're not a boxer or a wrestler.
Nope.
You're not a golf pro.
Definitely not.
Not a manager, coach, professional sports athlete. No. Swimmer, diver, tennis pro, track and field trainer. Business, I don't really think any of those are going to apply. No. We'll just keep going. Clergy, definitely not applying. Criminal, it could be argued that you might fall under criminal.
Okay.
Bank robber, probably not. Bookie, no. bootlegger, or thug. Let's look at that. Under skills, it says climb, conceal, drive, auto, firearms, fist punch, grapple, headbutt, kick, and knife.
Huh.
The only thing that you really would want out of that is firearms and maybe like conceal. So that's not really super important. Then burglar and con man don't really fit you. Fence, not really. Forger, no. Gambler, no. Gangster, not really. Hitman. Just follow me on this.
Okay.
It has a lot of the same things. Bargain, club, conceal, firearms, fist punch, grapple, headbutt, kick, knife, sneak, and hide. Doesn't quite fit. And maybe I was wrong. Maybe this doesn't really work. No, it doesn't look so. Journalism doesn't really apply to you.
Nope.
Labor doesn't apply to you.
Nope.
Labor doesn't apply to you. Law enforcement. Let's look at bounty hunter. Accounting. No, that does not apply to you. No, you know what? I think I like stuntman. What do you think?
What was a Western lawman?
Oh, I didn't see that. Let's look. Where do you see that? That is
right
here. It says drive auto, firearms, fist punch, grapple, headbutt, kick, law, persuade, psychology, ride, rope, track.
Huh.
So a lot of that does apply.
Yeah.
Special. Resistant to sanity loss resulting from witnessing murder. Human violence or normal injury. Add 50 bonus points to firearm skill.
Huh.
That one's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
You're not a bail bondsman or a judge. You are not in the medical profession. You're not in the mental health. You're not in the military, I don't think. Politics, no. Scholarly pursuits, not really.
No.
Miscellaneous. Antique dealer? Nope.
No.
Book dealer, no. Dilettante, no. Fireman, no. Flapper, not really. Gardener or gravedigger?
No.
Hold on. Hobo, no.
No.
Librarian, merchant marine, museum curator. None of this really works for you.
Yeah.
So, Western lawman or stuntman?
Okay.
It's up to you.
Let's go back and look at stuntman.
Okay. Here it is.
Okay, so it was climb, disguise, dodge, drive, automobile, electrical repair, first aid, and I'm looking for guns, knives.
You get throw, which is what you would use your throwing knives off of.
Okay. It seems like the Western lawman would be more.
Okay. Let's go back there. It's way back here. Somewhere there is. Okay. So. Yeah,
because firearms, rope. I would definitely do
you
rope
would definitely
tricks.
know rope tricks. Yeah.
Knives.
And you probably picked up some tracking because a lot of the people in the Wild West shows wore natural trackers.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you want to go with?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Pull this over.
Okay.
And under occupation, can you write down vaudeville actor and then in brackets, put down Western lawman so we know what to reference later.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the second page.
Alrighty.
I'm betting there's somewhere here.
Pages.
Personal data. I'm looking for something where we could write down your special little information. Let's put it down under investigator history.
Okay.
So, resistant. Write this down. Resistant to sanity losses resulting from witnessing murder, human violence, or normal injury. Which means that the Cthulhu Mythos monsters, that's not gonna that will scare the crap out of you. Still, that will cause a problem. But normal stuff won't.
Right.
We're not gonna write that down. We're just gonna apply that.
Oh, okay.
The extra 50 points. So flip back to the first page.
Alrighty.
A couple of questions before we get into doing anything else.
Okay.
That 50 points.
Right.
It says to the firearm skill.
Right.
You have several firearms options there.
Right.
You have handguns, machine guns, rifles, shotguns, and SMGs. We're going to skip SMGs, machine guns, and we're going to skip the 2 of those.
Okay.
Rifles are for super long distance shots.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Shotguns are very similar, but they can either be buckshot, which does a lot of damage in a small area, very short range, or they can be slugs, which does some damage at distance.
Okay.
You have a base percentage on everything.
Right.
So handguns is 20, rifles 25, shotguns is 30.
Right.
You have 50 points that I would like to split up across at least 2 of those, if not 3. It's up to you. Definitely handguns is something you would do.
Yeah, because I'm working with pistols.
Shotguns are more cowboy than rifles.
Than a rifle?
Yes.
Because I keep thinking about the rifleman.
Yeah.
But
rifles are mostly military and hunters. And by hunters, I mean something that you want to be way far away from.
Like if they're hunting a deer or something in the woods.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with my family background, they would have probably kept a shotgun around too.
Okay.
So
do you want to divide it evenly between the 2?
25 and 25?
Yes, write this lightly because you may up that later. So
Okay.
that would make that a 45. You see what I did there? 20 plus 25,
okay,
yeah.
So this would be a 50.
That's a rifle.
Oh. Oops.
So you want to go 55 on shotgun.
Right.
Okay. So I want you to put a light dot next to the skills here. Drive auto.
Okay.
It should say
It's going to be in alphabetical order.
yes. Over on the other side. No, that's fine. Whatever. Firearms. Firearms is over here. Don't mark the box. Don't mark
Why?
the box. The box is for advancement later.
Okay.
So that's fine right there. Firearms. So just next to the word firearms, it's fine. Fist punch. Now that one is unfortunately a combat skill, so it falls down at the bottom. So it's a little different. Grapple also down there.
Okay.
Headbutt and kick are also down there.
Okay.
Then you have law.
Okay.
We will probably skip over giving you any law because it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, I was just thinking if she is an amateur investigator, would she have tried to read
she might have. Yeah,
a little bit on that?
Persuade, psychology.
Now that we may, I would think skip because I don't even see the relevance.
So you're performing on the stage.
Uh-huh.
And your crowd is getting restless. What does that tell you?
That tells me I
psychology.
need to change my...
That's all that is
act.
Psychology. You're reading the other people, looking at what they're doing, and saying, this is what that means.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds plausible.
Ride. Rope. Doesn't look like rope is on there, so write down rope here on that line. I'll have to look up what the base percentage for stuff is. I'm betting it's a 0-1, but that's okay. And then track. Okay.
Okay.
So those are your trained skills.
Alrighty.
So let's go back to the other book and back to the character creation document.
Okay.
And see what we have to do next.
So even though my psychology may be small, it's because I'm able to persuade...
persuade is persuade.
Okay, I'm able to see what the other people are doing and adapt to their behavior to change their behavior.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move numbers around.
Okay.
So you have everything up here is already figured out.
Right.
I'm not saying you can't have a 16 intelligence, but it doesn't really apply. 16 is pretty high.
Right.
And you've got some other numbers on there you want to move around. Like education should probably be a little higher.
Right.
Your dex could be a little higher. Strength and con being a little higher isn't a problem.
Right.
So you can move. Let's look at the rule and read it exactly for what it says. Move 3 points from one rolled characteristic to another. Do this up to 3 times.
Okay. So, and is it up to 3 points, or I have to take 3 points?
You can move up to 3. It doesn't have to be all 3.
Okay. So, what is the highest?
20.
20 is the highest? So
I would not
if she
suggest...
has an average intelligence, she would be at a 10.
10 to 12, yeah.
Okay, so I can only take 3 points from this anyway.
Right.
Okay. And when I move this 3 points, do I have to put it into one place, or can I divide the 3 points up into different places?
No, it goes from one place to the other.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take these 3 points and move them into education.
Okay, so erase your intelligence, put it at a 13.
Okay.
And put your education up to a 12. Okay? And so your size is pretty big.
Yeah, I'm fairly small, 5'2", 5'3",
Well, that's not what your size says right now. So let's go ahead and move those 3 points.
Okay. So that would make that 12, because I have a 15. So 12, and I want to take these 3 points and my skills. Oh, what are my skills?
What do you mean?
Well, what's the Western lawman based off of? Dex and what?
Nothing. Those characteristics don't apply to your skills.
Oh,
okay. Remember we talked about that?
So I need to add 3 points. Now, Constitution is what again?
Your general health.
General health.
And a 9 is not a bad number. It's not as good as it could be.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move that into health.
Okay.
Or now, what's strength? Strength is like strength. Do you think she would be any stronger being the circumstances that she's
no, not necessarily
performing under? Or
not necessarily.
No?
Let's take your pencil away so I can see what you've got there. So you moved the 3 points from size to where? Is that what you're trying to figure out?
Yes.
I would put them in dexterity.
Okay.
It's not
why would we put them there?
Because you play with guns. You should have dexterity.
Okay. So that's going to be a 15 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So.
And then I can do it one more time if I want to.
You can. I wouldn't. No. Those are good, decent stats. Yeah. The strength is a little low. It happens.
Yeah.
I would almost let you move 3 points from size down over to strength if you wanted to. Because a 12 is still... You're a little bigger than average.
Yeah.
So
that puts me at a 9.
Mm-hmm. And that puts the other one at a 9.
At least it's not a 666.
Yeah. Okay. So we have moved that all around. Now we're going to determine some characteristics. First thing we're going to do is determine your sanity.
Okay.
So you take your power.
Alrighty.
Multiply it by 5.
50.
So circle 50 in the sanity points box. Okay.
That's a lot less than I had last time.
Yeah, well, last time you had a higher power. Now you're going to take your intelligence.
Okay.
And multiply it by 5. 13 times 5 is 65.
Okay.
And that goes in idea.
Oh.
Sorry.
So you said 65?
Mm-hmm. So next, you're going to take your power.
Okay.
Multiply it by 5. And that's your luck.
50 again.
And next, you're going to take your education and multiply it by 5.
5.
And that gives you a 60 in knowledge. So you don't know everything, but you're not dumb either. You have a decent knowledge. Now, next we're going to take size and strength, add them together. That gives you an 18. And we're going to see if you get a damage bonus.
Okay.
You don't.
Darn it.
You almost got a damage negative. But those damage bonuses only matter in hand-to-hand combat. So shooting them with a gun doesn't matter.
Right.
If you get a 25 or above, you get a extra D4 in damage. And then if you have above 32, you get more.
More. Okay, so do I take my sanity points from down here and put them up here?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay. Now, under there are 2 things. Yeah, it's +0. And then the 99 minus Cthulhu right there, that's the only thing left up in the characteristics. That's a 99.
So I have a 99 Cthulhu mythos?
No. That's 99 minus your Cthulhu mythos of 0 is 99.
Oh.
You start with a 0. You can't get... You really can... You can start if I gave you some Cthulhu mythos, but I'm not going to.
So do I have a 99 or do I have 0?
Yeah, well, what's your Cthulhu mythos?
I don't have any right now.
So that makes it a...
0.
So what's 99 minus 0?
-99.
No, what's 99 minus nothing.
Nothing. 0. 99. Oh my god.
What is 99 minus nothing?
99.
Okay, so write that down.
But hold on, I thought we only were going to 20. Why is this 99?
I told you the other stats would only go to around 20.
Okay.
That's not the other stats.
Okay, but why is this such a high number?
Cthulhu mythos is your knowledge of the myth. Is the knowledge of the
Cthulhian legend.
Yes, mythos.
Right.
The more you know, the less you have the ability to grasp reality.
The more I know, the less.
Cthulhu mythos is by definition insanity.
Okay.
So let's say you know 15% in Cthulhu mythos. That's a lot.
Right.
You don't want that much ever.
Right.
That means that the max sanity you could ever have now is 84.
Okay.
Notice how you could go up to 99?
Yeah.
So let's say you get 70 in your Cthulhu mythos.
Okay.
29 is now the highest you could ever have in sanity.
Oh, wow. So I don't understand what the if
As you
higher is... If I have 99 Cthulhu mythos, then
that's not 99 Cthulhu mythos, is it?
That's what it says, though.
No, does it?
Yeah.
What does that say?
Cthulhu mythos.
No, that is
99.
not what that says. That says, what is that?
Dash.
Before that,
99.
minus.
So this is like a subtraction.
Yes, that's why I said minus the 10 times I said it.
Okay.
Okay. You got it now?
Yep.
Are we sure? Because I've asked you 99 minus Cthulhu mythos 10 times.
You said 0, and that makes my Cthulhu mythos 99.
No, I said your Cthulhu mythos is 0.
Right.
So what does that make your Cthulhu mythos?
0.
Right. That's what I said. We have it recorded. We can go back.
No, I totally got it, but it just
moving on.
Looks funky.
The hit points box is directly below the characteristics and roles box. You see it?
Yep.
Okay. So you want to add your constitution plus your size. 18, right?
Yep.
Divide by 2.
Dude, that's it?
9 hit points.
I will die.
Unlike in Dungeons... Hold on, we're not done. Unlike in Dungeons and Dragons, you have to circle that, where you can take a couple shots. When we rolled up a previous character, that person took a shotgun with buckshot. Mm-hmm. They do 46 damage.
Right.
Do you know what the average? Do you know what the average roll on 46 is? 13.
Okay.
That will kill you. Everyone in Cthulhu is fragile. Even people who are huge and strong and super healthy have like 15 hit points.
That's ridiculous.
That's the reality of the world. This is not a nice, fun, fluffy game. This is a dangerous, scary world where if you get clipped by a car, you might die.
This game is stupid. I don't like it.
Shoved out a window.
By a bed frame.
You'll also notice that under your hit points, dead, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 are all bold. Mm-hmm. If you're in any of those, you're unconscious.
Okay.
So if you take 6 hit points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have 1 hit point left, and then you're unconscious. Even though you have 3 hit points, you are unconscious at anything below 3.
Wow.
Doesn't mean you can't be healed. Just means that that's the situation.
We are going to have a healer, right?
Define healer.
Somebody that can heal me.
There is no such thing as a healer.
Okay. Now, I don't remember from the last game.
We had a doctor, but he never had the chance to work on it.
Okay.
Someone with the first aid or the medical skill can help you.
But can't I go to the hospital and lose a turn or something?
We can call it a turn, sure. Each week, you get to heal back without any doctor or any nursing assisting you. You get 1d3 hit points back. If you have a doctor, you get 1d3 per wound. So let's say you get shot, and it only does 1.
Yep.
And you get shot again, and it does 3. Those are 2 separate wounds. You've taken 4 points of damage.
Yep.
So you go to the doctor.
Yep.
The doctor rolls a d3, or 2d3, because he has the medical skill. For the first one, you're clearly healed of that 1 point of damage. He rolls 2d3 and gets a total of 2 for the second one. You still have 1 point of damage left. Does that make sense?
So I would be at an 8 and not a 9.
Yes.
Okay.
You heal naturally at 1d3 per week. Mm-hmm. If you're under a physician's care, you get an extra d3. There's a condition where you get another d3.
Okay,
and that's per wound.
You're saying per week. Now, if we're in a game and we're playing, and
it's a good question, isn't it? You could be taken out of action.
That's
dangerous.
Ridiculous. Oh, that's what happened to me last time, and I couldn't help Johnny, and he got hurt because I was gone.
So, we move past that.
Stupid.
In the magic box, in the magic points box.
I don't have any magic.
Would you just listen to me help you generate the character? Circle the number that equals your power.
Okay, my power is 10.
Done. In the sanity box, we already did that.
Okay.
Don't circle those super hard.
Okay.
No, it's too late. It's fine. Don't or erase. You don't want to make anything too super permanent. You don't have to drag your pencil through the piece of paper. It's not a big deal. Just relax. All right, we have determined your occupation, correct?
Yep.
And your skills.
Yep.
So, multiply your education by 20.
Okay.
So, 12 times 20 is 240. You want to write that down. Those are the number of skill points you have to distribute across any of your occupation skills. Those are the ones we marked with the dots.
Right.
Okay. So, a couple of things to keep in mind. One skill at 80 or at 70 is better than two skills at 40 or 35. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So if you have Persuade at 40, or you have the option of taking Persuade if you have Persuade at 80, or you have the option of taking Persuade at 40 and Fast Talk at 40, Persuade at 80 is going to be better. You have more chances to succeed. Okay. So, stretching yourself out a little bit makes a little bit of sense, but not a lot.
Okay. I want firearms at 80.
No, you can't put firearms at 80. You can make handguns at 80, or you can make shotguns at 80, or you can make both at 80.
But these are already 45 and 55.
You just add to those. So, do you want to let's do handguns. Do you want to make handguns at 80?
So, yeah, that would be 35.
You would add 35. Now stop. Because you only have 240 points. Why don't you hit something else that you don't have anything in first? Because that way you can build those bases up. I know guns are going to be important to your character, but not being able to do anything else because of education is going to be pretty... Because you wanted to put 35 and 25 is 50 points of that 240. Okay. That's more than a fifth.
Okay.
Already gone, just for your guns.
I'm not good at math, so that doesn't mean anything to me.
It means if you had 5 things you could put in, you only have 4 now. Let's focus on the other 4 things, and then we can come back to that. So and you do have more skill points to apply later.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things that I would need to
honestly, I would skip the fist, punch, grapple. I would skip all that. Just skip all that for right now.
What about kick?
Do you really need kick?
If I want to kick somebody, I do.
Well, if you were going to look at those, what does it say under fist is your base percentage?
50.
So why wouldn't... Well, the kick does more. It's up to you.
Oh, because it's a D6.
Mm-hmm. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Okay, so...
So let's look at you have drive auto.
Yeah.
You have ride. Let's look at that one.
Okay.
So, a 60 is a pretty good place to start. Anything above that's good. I wouldn't go any higher than 80.
So, this says 5%. I don't...
So, if you put 55 into it, that makes it a 60.
Okay.
Okay, so subtract 55. That puts you at 185. Okay. So, next, you have Persuade, which you would use as a performer. Mm-hmm. So what's your Persuade base? 15?
Yes.
So if you put 50 points in there, that would give it a 65. Mm-hmm. Before you do that, though, let's look at the other stuff you've got. What happened to psychology? Oh, there it is. Psychology is a base of 5. So if you put 55 in there, that would put you at 60. I'm just paying the ones like drive auto. I don't think you're going to have a whole lot in. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
Laws is something you might have a little bit in, but we can get to that at the end.
Okay.
Track you may not have a whole lot in, but rope you're going to have something in.
Right.
Does that make sense?
And I already did ride.
Mm-hmm. So I would suggest that you put some points into rope, psychology, and persuade. Like those are the other three that I would focus on right now. If like that was
okay. So what is rope? You need to give me the base.
I'm looking.
And what did you say was the best place to start at with percentages?
You want to be at least at a 60.
Okay.
And then I wouldn't go above an 80.
So I'm going to put 45 into persuade.
Mm-hmm.
That puts me at a 60.
Okay.
And then psychology. Yeah, I don't know. Why don't I need the other things more?
Like what?
Like rope or track or
track doesn't
any of the melee.
Are you a melee character? Are you going to run around punching and kicking people?
No, I'm a ranged character.
Right. So
because
why would you
guns.
why would you have focused on learning those skills?
Right.
Do you track people? I mean, is that something you normally do? It's not part of your stage show.
No, but it would be part of my investigative hobby stuff.
Okay. But persuade and psychology are part of your stage show.
Right. So I would have more of them than I would of track and law.
Right. So why don't you hit the things you're going to have more of first,
right.
And then whatever's left, you can go from there.
So to make psychology 60, I need 55.
Okay.
Or let's go ahead and make it a 65. So 60, so...
We'll give rope a base of 10. Where'd you put the 60? Okay.
Okay.
So you have 80 points left.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest that you focus on either track or law with your education points right now. And put 50 points into rope and the other 30 points into either track or law.
Okay.
It's not that you can't buy the other one up because you still have more skills coming. It's that's where you're putting it now.
Right. So it would be in track.
Okay.
Because that makes more sense.
Okay.
Because she would have used it like she was hunting rabbits or something with her dad or...
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's perfect. So put it in there. So you want to put 30 plus 10 is 40.
40.
All right. That ends out those education points.
All right.
The next thing you're going to do, so you're going to take your intelligence times 10, and these are
it's 130
personal interest points. So, what I would put this into is anything that makes sense for your non-work related things, like law.
Okay.
You could also put it into. I would suggest we talked about you being able to spot things.
Mm-hmm.
Put some points into spot hidden.
Okay.
So, spot hidden starts at a 25. Honestly, I would drop 50 points into that. Put you at a total of 75.
75.
Okay. Now, that only leaves you with 80 points, but that's okay.
With 80?
Mm-hmm. I would put...
I mean...
A big part of investigation is library use.
Okay.
So maybe...
And she knows how to read.
Maybe put 25 points into library use, putting it at a 50. Law, let's skip law for a second. And let's look at anything else you might need. Is intimidate an option? No. It is not. Which I will probably have you use persuade off of. Yeah, that's fine.
That's what we're using. So I could drop like 5 more into that.
If you're going to drop anything, I would drop 10.
Yeah, okay.
So erase that and then put it to a 70. And then that leaves you 45 points. You could put those into law. You could also put those into... yeah, put those into law. Put all 45 into law. So you're not the greatest at law, 50. But you've got it. Okay.
All right.
So that will end that. we have to allocate every point, which you did, or they're lost.
Okay.
So next we determine weapons.
Okay.
So to do that, we go back to the 1920s companion book because it has the best guns ever. Not really, but it does have a good shot of guns. So we're going to look at some pistols first.
Okay.
Pistols, you're a cowgirl, you want revolvers.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
I mean, that's just the way it is. So, as soon as I get to the page, here we go. Selection of handguns.
Alright.
So you'll notice there's a bunch of information here, a bunch. And I'm going to
There's a
need you to
ton.
write some of it down here, but only
Okay.
once we decide what you want. So, you'll notice that there's an action here.
Okay.
A lot of them say semi, rev for revolver,
Okay.
2-shot.
Okay.
Those are your 3 options. There's only one 2-shot. We're going to skip the 2-shot. We're also
Yeah.
going to skip anything that says semi.
Right, 'cause
We're
it's
also going to
semi-automatic.
skip anything that says revolve 1.
Okay.
Revolve 1 means it doesn't self-cock.
Okay.
Means you make a
have
shot
to-
and then you have to do it. It is a very cowboy thing.
Like the mini I call them mini muskets, but what are they called? Like the pirates used to
No,
have
those
them.
are those are flintlocks. That's a different thing altogether.
But don't you have to cock it on
And
your
then
own?
light it and then repack it. That's totally different.
Oh,
Trust
okay.
me. A one-shot revolver. You have to cock the hammer back each time.
Yeah.
So you also notice that there's a year on here. You can't have anything that's made after 1924 or so.
Okay.
So a lot of this is going to be like the 1800s. That's fine. But we want to look at anything revolver, and there's either swing, or there's side for loading. There's side, swing, break.
And side is when it flips out to the side, of course. Break means it folds forward.
It folds forward. I'm not sure what swing means, so we're going to look. Well, hey, look. Here's pistols, gauge, options,
Bolt
pump,
action pumps.
select, swing, clip,
Single.
drum, side, strip, swing out. Found only in revolvers, allows the entire cylinder to swing out. I guess that...
On a hinge. Okay,
Oh,
so
no,
what's
a
the
side loader means that there's a little door, it flips up and you load it one at a time.
Oh, okay. This is sort of more
So
like
you're
a
gonna-
cartridge to be fed one at a
To
time.
be a
Okay.
full-on cowboy,
Yeah.
you're going to want to swing,
Yeah,
revolver.
that's what I would like.
Okay. And
Because those are cool.
the higher caliber, the more damage it's going to do.
Right. I remember that.
So, let's look at a couple of these. So, the Colt 38 is pretty... your Colt Lightning and Thunder are pretty standard. Those are
Okay.
cowboy weapons.
Right.
The new Army and Navy revolver, still also a pretty standard weapon. However, you'll notice it says Army and Navy. I don't know this for sure, but I'm betting that's a military weapon.
Right.
It's okay, though.
But the Lightning and Thunder are side
They are.
loading, not a swing, so...
Yep. So there's the new Colt Service DA revolver. It's a service weapon, though.
Right, so that would probably be military
Yep.
as well.
Colt Police revolver. We're not having a lot of luck here, are we?
No.
So let's go down here to other swings. There's a revolver here that's a swing with a clip.
45 Colt. It's the Colt.
It's an Army revolver.
Army revolver.
You know what? I'm betting these were made for the Army and made available.
Right.
That's
Now,
okay.
the Smith & Wesson's down here, but those are still military.
Yeah, but you can still get a hold of them. So we could look at the Smith & Wesson, not the 1920. So can't have that. 1926.
Oh, yep.
So I would say
There's the 1917 with clip.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to get that?
But, I mean, if we're talking Smith & Wesson, why wouldn't I be able to get
Oh, you
any
can
of
get
these?
any of those. Any of those is fine. It's just a
Okay.
question of what you like. Here's a couple other things. They have a capacity and hit points. And they
Okay.
have a price. Don't worry about price. We're not worried about that.
Okay.
Capacity is how many bullets it will hold.
Okay.
Hit points is if it gets struck. Like, let's say somebody hits it with a bat.
Right.
How many hit points it's going to take for that to
Right.
destroy.
Okay.
So,
let's
the
look
Smith
at the
& Wesson
Wesson.
looks like it has 6. It can hold 6 shots and has 10 hit points.
Okay.
The where you're looking
It
at,
would be the Army, Navy, or the Service DA revolver.
so they all hold 6. They all have a hit points of 10.
Okay.
So now
they're
it
all
comes
the
down to
same.
caliber. The Army Navy can hold a 38 or a 41.
Okay.
Higher is better.
Yep.
For the Service DA only holds a 38. And the Smith & Wesson holds a 48 or 45 or a 45 ACP. So let's look at what ACP means.
What does ACP mean?
I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it's... okay. So 45 ACP is going to do the same damage. What does the ACP stand for? Handguns. Nothing there.
About all of the gun enthusiasts out there going, it means this, it means this.
Yeah. Guys, I have no idea what ACP means.
If only you were here to let us know.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you know what?
Let's go ahead and look it up.
I do have the amazing actions of my internet on my phone. ACP revolver round. The 45 ACP, designed in the 1920s, also known as the 45 Auto by CIP. Auto by Sammy is a cartridge designed by John Browning in 1904 for use in his prototype Colt semi-automatic, the 45 pistol, and eventually the 1911 pistol adopted by the U.S. Army. It's just the type of cartridge.
So can we pull a what it looks like? Can we pull up what the gun looks like? Is it not in here?
No, it's not. It might be, but I doubt it. That's what the bullet looks like. It's a really good radio showing you the bullet.
Yeah.
What gun did you want?
The
Smith &
we were
Wesson
looking at the ACP. We were looking at the Smith & Wesson military revolver with the swing clip.
Does it say military revolver?
It's an M1917 Army revolver. Could either take a 45 Colt or a 45 ACP. Has a swing. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Yep.
You may not have a black handle.
Yeah.
In fact, it would probably look more like that.
That's nice looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that what you want?
Yep.
Okay, so write down. There we go. Write down Smith & Wesson. Then write down 45 Colt and 45 ACP, because those are two types of rounds you can use.
ACP, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And it has it's a swing and with clip.
It is a revolver. That is kind of important.
All right.
It holds six shots, 10 hit points.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to ammo, because this is our next step. So it is a 45.
Mm-hmm.
So it does a D10 plus 2.
Okay.
It should be noted that you have a swing out, so you can reload 2 cartridges per round, but because it has a magazine, a clip, you can do it all in one round. So we're going to transfer the most of this over to right here. Okay. So you're going to write SW 1917
under the firearm.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of room there. Now, we did not up your guns. Do you want to go back and reallocate some points?
Oh, because we were going to take those up.
I would suggest taking like 10 out of Persuade and 15 out of Spot. That would put you at 60s on both of those. Or 10 out of both. Or I wouldn't suggest dropping anything else much. You can maybe...
Okay, so I'll do 10 and 10.
Yeah.
So this is going to be 55. It's going to be 65.
Okay, so
wait,
drop your...
I want to do it opposite.
Okay. How are you going to do it opposite by taking 10 and 10? That was already a 55. That was already a 45.
Okay, this is a 45. This was a 55, right? Okay.
So you're going to take... Hold on.
So I want this one to be the largest.
Let's take points out of Spot Hidden first. Okay. So drop that to a 65.
Which is 10.
Right. You have to take the points out. That's what I want you to do so that we don't mess this up. So 65.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then drop Persuade to a 60. Okay. Now you have 20 points.
Right.
You can make them both 60s, or you can make the handgun a 65 and leave the shotgun at 55.
The thing is, she's more skilled with the handgun than she is with the shotgun.
Okay.
I don't understand why I put 55 there.
Because you added 25 to it. You had 50 points to split.
Right.
You put 25 here and 25 here.
Yeah.
Do you want to change that?
Yeah, so I'm going to take 10 from here and put it here.
Okay, do that.
And now I have 20 points, so I can put 10 here, 10 here.
Okay.
That looks
You're
good.
good? Okay.
Yep.
Next thing we're going to do is buy you a shotgun.
Okay, shotgun's right here.
You have a Browning, Remington, Winchester. You can have any of those as far as on gauge. Smaller is better. So 12 gauge is actually better than 16.
Because the more spread that you have, the more damage you're going to deal.
Sure.
Right?
That's not what that means. Something about the number of balls that you can fit of a certain size in something.
Yeah, because the more balls that you get, when you shoot it, the more spread you're going to get and the more damage it's going to do.
So
like
you have 5 options.
Okay.
Lever action, slide action, lever action, self-loading, and slide action. You're probably a lever action kind of girl.
Yep.
Which gives you the 1901 and the 1887. The 1887 is actually going to do more damage at a 10 gauge or a 12 gauge.
I think I'll do the 1887 because as much as she likes her job, she also likes vintage weapons.
Okay, so write all this stuff down. So you have the Winchester M1887.
Okay.
It is 10 or 12 gauge. It is lever action. It's a side load. Capacity is 5. Hit points are 10. Something we missed on the last
damage.
one. We have to figure that out by gauge.
Okay.
Let's go back to your pistol, because that's where we were at. So put 65 next to that under percentage. Let's go back, because you want to do the you have the Smith & Wesson 1917, so put 65 there.
65
Your damage is 1d10 plus 2.
So d10 plus 2.
Your malfunction. We're going to keep this the clean malfunction, because this is kind of important.
Okay.
You have a revolver, so your malfunction is a 00. If you ever roll a 00 while trying to shoot your gun, it malfunctions, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Your range. I don't like this book for this. This is the only thing I don't like about this book. Because I always forget where the range is at.
You would think it'd be right there on that chart.
No, it's under pistol, or it's under ammo, I believe.
Oh, because of the type of ammunition I'm using.
Total cost. Base ranges.
Okay.
You have 15 yards. So just put 15. It's fine. What's your number of attacks? Hold on. You are a large caliber. You have a double action revolver. So you're 1. So
I only have 1 attack?
Yeah.
Per round?
Per round.
Okay.
Shots is the capacity you have.
So the capacity is 6 shots?
And then hit points is the hit points. So
10.
So the next one is you will put in the shotgun information. So I would put in the Winchester, Win 1887.
Okay, and then it's 55%?
Yep. And then fill out the rest of that
And
information.
then I've got a... You did not give me the damage.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay. Malfunction, do not have the range, do not have the attack. Capacity is 5 shots. I have 10 hit points. So I need the damage, malfunction, and range.
Okay, so are you using 10 gauge or 12 gauge?
Let's go with 10.
Slug or buckshot?
Can you tell me what's the difference between a slug and a buckshot?
Buckshot is a scattered pattern.
Okay.
Slug is a slug. just like a pistol.
Just like a
For
bullet.
hunting, you could use either.
Okay.
Buckshot you would use on a bigger animal. Slug you would use on a smaller animal.
Let's go with buckshot.
Okay. So 10 gauge buckshot does 46 plus 2 at 10. Stop real quick. Buckshot has a much, much shorter range.
Right.
10 yards. So you're better off with your pistol.
Okay.
At range.
Right.
That's
right.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. Slug is going to have way longer yard.
Okay.
It has 25 yards.
Okay.
And it does a D10 plus 7. So
slug is, what'd you say, 40 yards?
25.
25 yards. At what? Damage?
1d10 plus 7.
And then buck is
46 plus 2.
And what's the yards? 10?
10. And you can do it farther out,
Wow.
but it drops in half.
Yeah. So, but 46 is like
They've got to get really
24.
close, and if you miss them at that range, they're going to eat you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. And I'm playing a ranged character, so I should probably do the slug.
Okay, so you do 1d10 plus 7.
Okay.
Your malfunction is 99.
Okay.
25 for range. And your number of attacks is... lever action is 1, but put in parentheses next to it 3/2. That means if you get your shotgun above a 75 percentage by skilling up, you can shoot 3 shots every 2 rounds, which means you'd shoot 2 this round, 1 next round,
Right.
2, 1, 2, 1.
Okay.
Because you're that quick.
Right.
Unfortunately, it would be 2, 1, 2, load.
Yeah.
2, 1, 2, load. Yeah. So,
yeah.
and you are on a side load. Is that right?
Yes.
So side load, you can do 2 cartridges per round.
Okay.
So it'd be 2, 1, 2, load, 2, load, 2, load, 2, load. And at that point, you're probably in a bad combat. So, does that all make sense?
Yep.
All right, we have determined weapons.
Okay.
Okay, we're moving on.
Yes.
Determine additional background. Okay.
Ooh.
The first thing we're going to do is, at the top of your sheet, you're
Okay.
going to finish filling out all that information. So you're going to put your character name.
All right. My character's name is Eva McCrea.
You sent me McCrea.
Oh, McCrea.
MC, capital C-R-E-A.
C-R-E-A. Yep.
Um,
Sorry, McCreary was somebody at work.
yeah. So, move your hand. I
McCrea.
can't see. College
don't
degrees,
have
you don't
any.
have anything.
None.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I didn't figure that out yet.
Okay, that's fine. We can leave that break.
So-
Do you have any mental disorders?
Other than I'm a woman?
Do you have any mental disorders?
No.
Monthly PMS does not count as a mental disorder. Sex.
Is it female?
Yep, and age.
I think I put myself at what?
A lady never reveals her age. No, go ahead.
I'm 12,
No.
20. What was it? 24? I think 24, 25.
Yeah. Okay. On the very left-hand side of the sheet, you'll notice there's an area that says player name. So write your name in
Hey.
there.
My name is too big for this.
No, it's not. If you write appropriately. All right. That's going to about wrap us up, though, because that's the end of it.
We don't do anything else?
Nope. We'll work on background stuff a little later. We'll clean this up, this track up, and get it all recorded.
So what about
income. Roll your
sales?
D10. Good call. D10. Where was that?
I don't know.
No, it was the very beginning of... Yeah, you got to roll that so it sits flat.
Seriously?
Re-roll that. I'm not accepting it.
We're not accepting a 1.
If you roll it twice, sorry, you're out of luck.
No, one more time. I got a 6.
Okay. You have $2,500 in cash.
Holy cow.
Now,
Cash on hand.
I'm sorry, that's your income. That's your income. Put in $2,500. That's your yearly income. But this is 1920, so that's
Yeah.
still a lot of money. You won't use change, so you might as well erase those little zeros.
Oh, okay.
You will have...
Oh, how much was my shotgun?
Don't worry about it.
Right.
I'm not charging you for guns.
Okay.
Your personal property will equate to 5 times that. So $7,500.
You think that's how much a general store would be?
No, it would be a lot more. No, that's not 5 times that. I'm sorry. $12,500. Is that right?
Did you say 5 times?
Yes, $12,500. Just write it down. Okay. We'll figure out what that means later.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be done right now.
All right.
Especially since you don't know exactly what's going on. We'll fill out the adventuring gear and what you possess exactly.
Okay.
Mostly, it'll be stuff that can move with you. It has to be.
Right.
For this game to work out.
Right.
So, all right. That'll wrap us up today. So, this has been the Nerds Domain. Let's run you through.
Character creation.
Yep, this has been character creation for Shirley. Shirley is one of our regular writers and podcasters for the site. So, that's it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain podcast. Presents the Masks of Neuraltep. You can always send us an email with any questions or thoughts at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or catch us on Twitter. I'm @Quiet and Shirley is @SNEDS70. Or you can catch us at Nerds Domain. You can also catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdsdomain. We want to thank Josh Schott for our amazing intro music that I talk over. And if you enjoy our podcast, we encourage that you get on over to iTunes and give us a review. Maybe give us a few stars and let us know what you think. We'll talk to you real soon.
See ya.